Okay, let's talk a little bit about discussion post 1, Aegean art, compare and contrast, due Sunday at 11 p.m. So we're going to compare and contrast the architectural complexes at Knossos, the Minoan civilization, and the citadel at Mycenaean. So basically we're going to be comparing these two massive complexes, palaces, citadel. They've, kind of have been called and are referred to as these various complexes, right? They've been defined in these different ways. But you can just visually, looking at them, start to see and make some comparisons about what's similar, what's different, and how those similarities or differences are connected to the cultural context, the political scenarios, political belief systems, the religious belief systems, ceremonies, things like that. So basically, in your discussion post, it's required to use the terms from the readings. I would encourage you to mention any ideas that stuck out to you from the videos, and then just in your own interpretation of the information that you have reviewed and gathered from this week's learning unit. So really try to reflect back on the things that you've read, heard, or listened to, watched, all those different ways of kind of consuming this information. It is required that your essay portion of the discussion post is a minimum of 400 words. And so the essay portion is going to refer, kind of to the whole thing, but I don't know if I was really thinking that these kind of bullet lists would be a part of the 400 words, but let's not get into that. Just try to do your best to communicate your ideas. And be sure to respond to 2 of your classmates' posts with a minimum of 40 words per post. So the required prompts that you'll need to reflect on in your essay: list 2 architectural designs or functions for each massive palace complex, Knossos and Mycenaean. Tell us why these particular designs or functions stood out to you when learning about these massive complexes. So there's lots of different things that have been discussed in these various ways that you've consumed information about these complexes, palaces, citadel. Sorry, I'm calling it so many things, but I just want you to know that I am referring simply to the Mionans and the Mycenaeans. The Mionans and the Mycenaeans. That's all we're comparing, is those 2 large spaces. So what architectural design stood out for you is one prompt. How have the arrangements of the buildings aided archaeologists in speculating on the ways in which these complexes were related to their cultural context, their ritual or political use? So that can also be some bullet points. And then if you had to live in one of these cities, complexes, palaces, Knossos, or Mycenaean, which would you prefer to reside and why? So pretty interesting, I think, prompts to respond to in relationship to these 2 civilizations and how they created these civic center spaces, how they were designed, what they look like, and what that might mean metaphorically in relationship to the cultural context. These are the required videos and some helpful videos as well. So some of them are, a little bit more serious. The digital reconstruction is a really kind of fun way to get a sense of what it might have been like to live in that particular palace. So I would encourage you to watch these before you respond to the discussion post this week. Here we've just got, so you can see some of the details. You can also Google this particular palace and, get all different types of visual aid that might help you in this homework project. And the same for the Mycenaean civilization. And then finally, some additional links. These are not required, but they might be helpful in your discussion post. So, of course, keep me posted with any questions that you have. I look forward to reviewing your homework project.